last chapter we have studied about the acid, bases and salts on the basis of these few points. Okay, these are the few points that we already discussed. Let us move to the next point, that is the types of acids. Okay, types of acids on the basis of the source and the basis of strength. Okay, there are two types of classification we are going to discuss, on the basis of source and on the basis of strength. Okay, the first type is first type of acids are weak acids and strong acids. Now, what do you mean by weak acids and strong acids? So we already discussed in the previous lecture that weak acids do not ionize completely. Do not ionize means do not dissolves completely in the water. If you take an aqueous solution of any organic acids like acetic acid, I'll just give you an example of acetic acid. Okay, see, just for example, acetic acid, for example, CH3, acetic acid. You see, this is the formula of acetic acid, CH3COOH. This is our acetic acid. Now this acetic acid, when dissolved in water, when this acetic acid is dissolved in water, it forms CH3 COO minus plus H plus. But now in this reaction, the complete dissociation does not take place. Complete dissociation, CH3COOH, when it dissolves in water, it does not dissociate completely. This type of arrow, it means it incomplete dissociation takes place, and in the solution CH3COO minus plus H plus. Okay, H plus ions are also formed in the CH3COOH. This is the formula of acetic acid, one of the organic acids found in the vinegar. So when it is dissolved in the water, what it forms? CH3COO minus plus H plus. But still in the solution, this molecule also exists, means it does not dissociate completely. This is the reason that why it is called weak acids. The reason is, main reason behind calling it weak acid is the CH3COO minus and H plus ions are less, and CH3 CH3COOH molecules are also existing in the solution. Hence this acid is called as inorganic acid. Now see, this is one of the example of weak acids. Okay, there are some more weak acids like formic acid, boric acid, nitrous acid, phosphoric acid, sulfurous acid. They're all weak acids. They do not dissociate completely. Now there is one more type of acid on the basis of strength, the strong acids. Now strong acids ionizes completely. Strong acids ionizes completely. Now I'll give you an example of one of the strong acids. HCl, when dissociated in the water, it forms H plus plus Cl minus. It means that there is a complete ionization of HCl. Okay, there is a complete ionization of HCl in the water, and hence H plus ions are more, as H plus ions are more, it is called strong acids. Another examples of strong acids are H2SO4 sulfuric acid, HNO3 nitric acid, HI, that is hydroiodic acid, HCl hydrochloric acid. Okay, these are the example of strong acids. Now this is on the basis of strength. This classification is on the basis of strength. This both the types, strong and weak acids, are on the basis of strength of the acids. But one more classification we can understand here, that the classification on the basis of source, from which source you are getting. On the basis of the source also, acids and bases are classified. The first type of acids and bases, acid on the basis of source is mineral acid, and the second type is organic acid. Now see, mineral acids are also called as inorganic acids. because mineral acids we do not get from plants and animals. As mineral acids we get from the earth crust or from the soil, we call it mineral acids. And why, the reason behind calling it inorganic is that we do not find these acids in the plants and animals, and hence they are called as mineral acids. Now first point, if you see, acids prepared from the mineral of the earth is called mineral acids. The acid which is prepared from the minerals of the earth, where the minerals are obtained from earth mein, okay, like chlorine, sulfur, iron, there are so many minerals, different types of minerals, okay, nitrogen, nitrates, okay, these are the different types of minerals found in the earth only, and then these acids are obtained from these minerals, and hence they are called as mineral acids. Now if you see about this organic acid, we'll see the comparative study of these two so that it will be easy to understand. Organic acids present in the plants and animals, and hence they are called as organic. Organic means which is found in the living organisms, living beings में जो मिलता है उसको organic बोलते हैं. Then second point is, these are man-made acids. Mineral acids or inorganic acids are man-made acids. Man-made means prepared by man, and then organic acids are already present in the nature, already found in the plants and animals. Then common mineral acids are HCl, H2SO4 and HNO3. These are the three main mineral acids which are considered very dangerous, very harmful, very corrosive acids. In case of organic acids, acetic acid, the formula is CH3COOH. This is the important which we are going to use in the next chapters also. Other formulas we don't need. Citric acid, tartaric acid. Citric acid found in the lemon, tartaric in tamarind, okay, lactic acid in curd, oxalic acid in tomato, formic acid in ants. Okay, so these are organic acids found in the plants and animals. Okay, so this is about the examples. Then concentrated mineral acids are very dangerous. Concentrated mineral acids are very dangerous. Reason is that they are corrosive. If they fall on your skin, they will cause the burn. Okay, so they should be first diluted and then used. Okay, they can burn hands and clothes. You see that if these concentrated acids, that is mineral acids which are concentrated, means in the pure form. Concentrated means what? Concentrated means hota hai pure form mein. And if the concentrated acids are fallen on the skin or on the clothes or skin may burn. Okay, so that is why they are very dangerous. So this is about the types of acid on the basis of source as well as strength. This classification is on the basis of strength, and this classification is on the basis of source. Okay, so this is about the strong and weak acid, mineral and organic acids. So let's move to the next point, next slide. Okay, that is organic acids. Okay, now organic acids are acids, okay, which are organic acids are acids which are present in the bees. Okay, bees and ants. Formic acid is present in the bees and ants. You can see formic acid, acid secreted by the ants in your skin is the formic acid. Okay, you see, when you disturb the bees, they will bite you. Okay, on biting you will find the burning sensation. This is because of formic acid injected by bees in your skin, and that's why you cause the burning sensation. Then when an ant bites, it injects acidic liquid. The acidic liquid is formic acid into our skin, and effect of this acid is also it can be neutralized by rubbing the moist baking soda. Now baking soda is a base. Okay, baking soda, if you see the formula of baking soda, NaHCO3 is basic, and the formic acid is acid. So when it is applied on your skin, the burning sensation is stopped. Okay, so this is, or calamine solution also can be used. Calamine solution, which is zinc carbonate. Okay, zinc carbonate also can be applied on the skin for the remedy, as a remedy. Then next is citric acid, it is also one of the organic acids present in the lemon. Okay, now this citric acid makes the lemon sour. You can see any lemon, if you see, it is sour in taste. Okay, citrus fruits, all citrus fruits are sour in taste. The reason is that they are having citric acid in it. Now it is very good antioxidants and therefore helps in the improvement of health of your skin. You see, citric acid is having a very important use in the day-to-day life. Citric acid is keeping your skin healthy. It also improves your gums health. That is, the disease like scurvy, deficiency disease like scurvy can be also prevented by this vitamin C present in the lemon. So it is very good for antioxidants and therefore helps in improving the health of our skin. Okay, so this is very important point. Okay, it helps in quick healing of the injuries. The next organic acid is tartaric acid, present in the grapes as well as tamarind, and therefore present in the wine made by grapes too. So tartaric acid is also present in the wines, because wines preparation के लिए we use the grape wines. Okay, then we have another acid, that is lactic acid, is consequent sour milk and yogurt. Okay, you can see lactic acid is acid present in the curd. Actually, milk contain lactose sugar, so that lactose sugar is converted to lactic acid by the lactobacillus bacteria, and this lactic acid is present in the curd. That's why curd also tastes sour, that is khatta. Okay, it is also formed in muscles during the exercise. Now see, lactic acid is somewhere in the 7th standard anaerobic respiration, when we were discussing that time, you saw that when oxygen is not supplied to your body in sufficient quantity in your muscles, glucose is broken down anaerobically, that means in the absence of oxygen. So because this is the reason that instead of formation of energy, the lactic acid is formed and you get the muscle cramp. Okay, so during the exercise, this lactic acid is formed in your body, in the muscles. Okay, that causes the cramps in the muscles, and it is responsible for the tiredness of muscles and pain. Okay, when this lactic acid is formed in the muscles, it causes the tiredness and the muscular pain also caused because of the formation of lactic acid in the muscles. The next important organic acid is acetic acid. It is used as a preservative. Most of the time, pickles, if you see the pickle, everybody has pickle at your home. Okay, so in the pickle also this acetic acid is used, or in many food products, acetic acid, that is vinegar. You must be knowing vinegar is the source of acetic acid. This acetic acid is used as a preservative, so it is present in many food items. Then it is also called as ethanoic acid. Okay, it is also called as ethanoic acid. Acetic acid is another name, ethanoic acid. Keep in mind, in 4th chapter we will discuss about it. Carbonic acid is usually present in the fizzy drinks. Carbonic acid formula is CH3, sorry, not CH3, carbonic acid H2CO3, carbonic acid. This is present in the cold drinks. Now when you buy the cold drink from the market, in that cold drink H2CO3 is there, carbonic acid, and when you shake the bottle of the cold drink, the carbonic acid, from the carbonic acid CO2 comes out in the form of bubbles, so that gives a fizzy look. Okay, so in the fizzy drinks, this carbonic acid is present, which is a source of carbon dioxide there. Okay, so this is about the some of the organic acids. Okay, then see, next point is acid rain. Now, acid rain is a rain or any other form of precipitation that is usually acidic. Now when rainfall takes place, that time, see, precipitation in the sense rainfall, okay, in the form of droplets when it falls down. During this precipitation, see, when there is a type of gases like CO2, or NO2, that is nitrogen dioxide, SO2, that is sulfur dioxide. Okay, when these gases are present in the air, that time see that time rainwater when combines with these gases present in the air, rainwater when combines with these gases present in the air, this is the rainwater. So H2O when combines with CO2, atmospheric CO2, it forms carbonic acid. When NO2 combines with rainwater, it forms nitric acid, HNO3. Then an SO2 when combines with rainwater, that is sulfur dioxide when combines with rainwater, it forms H2SO3, that is sulfurous acid. So these are the all acids which are formed in the air only during the precipitation, and these acids fall on the ground, which is called as acid rain. And it can have very harmful effects on the plants. Okay, it can have very harmful effects on the plants and animals. Infrastructure, especially structures made up of marbles. Let me tell you what is marble buildings consist of. Marble building consists of CaCO3. Okay, marble building consists of CaCO3, calcium carbonate. And when these acids like H2SO4 suppose fallen on it, sulfuric acid fallen, okay, suppose sulfuric acid has fallen on it, so what will be the product? Now this is salt and this is the acid, so it will react with each other. Then CaSO4 plus CO2 plus H2 is formed. Now this is the product formed in this reaction. CaSO4, calcium sulfate is formed, and along with that carbon dioxide and water is formed. And due to the formation of new substance, the property of this calcium carbonate changes entirely, and the shine of the marble buildings decreases. The shine becomes dull, and that's the reason that why we say that it is harmful for the structures or the infrastructure such as marble buildings. And this type of change in the marble buildings is called as monumental cancer. Cancer in the sense it's corrosive. These acids are corrosive for the marble, and because of this is called as monumental cancer. Okay, so this is the next point. Let's go to the see this you can see here the Taj Mahal. You can see the shine of the Taj Mahal here. Okay, this is the previous Taj Mahal. Before few decades or before couple of decades, the Taj Mahal was shining like this. But now if you see the Taj Mahal's condition, because of the pollution, lots of pollution in the around on the industrial area around the Yamuna river bank causes lots of pollution. Lots of harmful gases are released in the air, and these gases, due to these gases, acid rain takes place, and these acid rains have caused a very harmful effect on the monuments, which is a very famous monument of world. Okay, it is one of the 7 wonders, but getting damaged. Okay, so we should take care of your national property, and for that what we have to do is stop the pollution, minimize the pollution. Okay, you can see here acid rain formation, how it takes place. So as I told you, acid rain formation कैसे होता है? It's a very simple acid rain formation. You can see here SO2 gas, NO2 gas has been released from the air, from the industry, and that combines with the rainwater, and after that this rainwater, when falls in the form of precipitation, that fall as a acid. Okay, so you can see that how it is difficult, and this is not only causing the problem to the monuments, but plants and aquatic animals as well as animals, humans, everybody, soil, everything gets damaged because of this. Okay, now let us go to the next point, that is there are some properties, okay, of acids. Okay, we'll see some properties of acids now. So now these are the chemical properties of acid. When acid reacts with different things, how it reacts, that's what we're going to discuss. Then the first property is that how the acid reacts with the metal. When metal and acid reacts, it produces the salt and hydrogen gas. Now I'll give you an example that when acid, I'll take a very common acid, HCl, hydrochloric acid. Any metal you can take here, Na. Okay, when this acid react with metal, it forms NaCl plus hydrogen gas. Okay, this is how the reaction takes place. Hydrogen gas is formed here, so you can balance this reaction in this way also. So this is the first property of the reaction of first property of the acids, that is reaction with metal. You can see here acids react with, you can see acids react with metal to form a salts and hydrogen gas. A little splint. Now how will you understand the gas formed is hydrogen only? Now in this reaction you can see that I said that this is the hydrogen gas, but this gas is invisible. How will you say that this is the hydrogen gas only? So to test that, we have to take a little splint to test the presence of hydrogen gas. And if this little splint extinguishes, then extinguishes the splints, and then when extinguishes with the pop sound, and that means this is the identification mark of hydrogen gas. So how the hydrogen gas burns? The hydrogen gas burns with pop sound. So this is the main test for the hydrogen gas. Okay, if they are asking you that how will you understand, how will you test the presence of or formation of hydrogen gas? So if the little splinters are held in the test tube, in the mouth, on the mouth of test tube, the gas burns with the pop sound, and the gas which burns with the pop sound is always hydrogen gas. Okay, so this is how we can test the hydrogen gas formation in the reaction between the acids and metals. Okay, so let's go to the next point, that is reaction with carbonates. Reaction with carbonates. Now what are carbonates? Carbonates means, like, I'll give you an example here of carbonates. See CaCO3, it's a carbonate. When carbonates are added to acid, see the products are salt, carbon dioxide and water. Now when CaCO3 is added to this acid, now I'll take an acid here. Acid is HCl, suppose I'll keep it HCl only. Now CaCO3 is a salt or carbonate react with this HCl. The products should be salt, carbon dioxide and water. So salt will be CaCl2 plus H2O plus CO2. These are the common products that are formed in this reaction. So CaCl2 here is the salt, this is salt, this is water, and this is carbon dioxide gas. Okay, so this is the common product that is formed in any reaction between the, when any carbonate reacts with any acid, the same products will form. Only formula will differ, but the formula differ in the sense different salts will form at the different when you take the different acids and different carbonates, but the product will be salt only and carbon dioxide only and water only. So these are the this is the property, next property, that is reaction with carbonates. Next is reaction with, you can see here one example also mentioned, that acid and carbonates react, that is salt, carbon dioxide and water. So lime water is used to taste the presence of carbon dioxide gas. The lime water turns chalky when carbon dioxide is bubbled in it. Now see, how will you, again here the question is that how the carbon dioxide can be tested. Now you will say, sir, carbon dioxide is formed. How will you say that this carbon dioxide gas is, this gas is carbon dioxide gas? Bubbles will come out, but bubbles is not a colorful gas, doesn't have color, so you cannot say that this is the carbon dioxide gas, but we have a test. So what is a test? Lime water is used to test the presence of carbon dioxide gas. If you take a lime water and pass this CO2 gas produced or whatever unknown gas produced in this reaction, if you pass through the lime water, now lime water is CaOH twice. It is also called as slaked lime. It is also called as calcium hydroxide. So when you pass the CO2 gas through this lime water, this is called lime water. देन इट टर्न्स मिल्की वाइट, चौकी हो जाता है, उसका कलर क्या हो जाता है, चौकी, बिकॉज ऑफ द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ CaCO3, एंड CaCO3 इज नथिंग बट चौक, एंड चौक का कलर होता है मिल्की, चौकी. ओके, सो दैट इज द रीजन that this is how we can test the presence of carbon dioxide gas formation in the reaction. Okay, now see, let us go to the next point, that is reaction with alkali. Now alkali is nothing but base, strong base. Okay, as I've already told you, acid reacts with alkali to produce a salt and water, that is neutralization reaction. Any acid when reacts with any base, it forms salt and water only, that is the neutralization reaction. So your reaction between acid and alkalis are called neutralization reaction. Already seen, neutralization means one neutralizes another, other neutralizes the previous. Okay, for example, HCl and NaOH is treated together, HCl will neutralize NaOH, NaOH will neutralize HCl. So this is how we can talk about these properties. We'll now see there are few more properties, but now we are not going to go discuss here now, today only. We'll stop